is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
This
Just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll. Welcome to DBL. I'm Erica in for Jeff. Happy Monday. Monday. Some feel happier than others. And we're just going to move on.
Yep.
So there's been an outpouring of support from around the world for Kate Middleton, who revealed her cancer diagnosis on Friday. Meantime, People magazine is reporting that Kate and King Charles met for a private lunch a day before her announcement. It added that the two have always had a special bond, which has been strengthened due to Charles' own cancer diagnosis. But some people are wondering why Will wasn't at Kate's side during her video. So some sources say it was Kate's decision to make the announcement on her own, and she was making a statement as a strong woman, sharing a strong message to the world. So do any of you feel like William should have been by her side?
I could see why he would be there. Obviously, not saying he should have. This is, when you have cancer, you call the shots about how you want to do it and who you want to know. But if he was there, even though I'm assuming she'd face backlash either way, I can only speak for somebody that if I had a partner that had cancer, I would be kind of looking to Will to see how you handle that when you feel so helpless with somebody that you love. So that would be the only reason, is like to present a united front. But I can understand obviously why she's not there.
Yeah, I think, you know, like you said, it's very personal. It depends on the person and what they're going through. And I think as well, if Will had been in there, I do think it would have caused more distraction. What's Will doing? What's his body language like? Is he holding her hand? Is he sat back? It would have turned into it would turn into something else, I think, personally.
And I have, sorry to keep going.
No, I just think, you know, it was the point of that is I believe she's trying to say, I'm strong, I've handled it with my family and my children, and now I'm handling it with the public because of all of the, obviously, the rumour mill that has been non-stop. But I think this was her way of trying to take control of her situation.
Yeah, and I read up on this. I got to be honest, I was thrilled, not thrilled, I should never have said thrilled, but I was really proud to see her do this on her own. And I have to say, as someone who comes from a mom who had cancer and you deal with that, a lot of people ask the family how they're doing, and people kind of forget to ask the patient, how are you doing? Like, what's going on with you? She famously wrote that herself. She wanted no help from the palace. So Kate's seemingly in charge of this treatment, and she wants to put that out there. And I think that's, to be honest, medical autonomy and agency is a beautiful thing. I bet the Queen Elizabeth would have done this alone, and I think she's following in that footstep. So I think she did a beautiful thing by doing that.
Well, Blake Lively is apologizing after she posted a picture poking fun at the princess during all the speculation. Blake posted this heavily photoshopped image on Instagram promoting her non-alcoholic cocktail line. It was a clear reference to Kate's Mother's Day Photoshop fail. But since Kate's cancer reveal, Blake took the post down and offered this apology, where she said she was mortified over the silly post. But Blake wasn't alone. Last week, Kim Kardashian posted this photo of herself with the caption, "On my way to go find Kate." And John Oliver appeared on Watch What Happens Live, where he joked that there was a non-zero chance Kate had died. You know, Tori, I know that you apologized last week, and I felt like, while it was important, I understand that you felt the need to apologize, and we were getting that information in very real time. I also think that this is a nuanced conversation, as we do have a job to do based on the information that we have in real time. And if we aren't talking about trending topics and we aren't referring to what our experiences are, then we have no business sitting here. So I want to always kind of have like a nuance about it. And I think in the Blake Lively situation, I do feel very strongly about the fact that the Photoshop fail was placed squarely on Kate, who clearly had nothing to do with that, as she was dealing with far more important things. So when you practice to deceive, there's a tangled web that you weave, and there is fallout from that. So I think we can have that conversation in twofold. One, there's someone struggling with cancer and should be protected and sent well wishes, full stop. But the way that things have gone and the distrust in the palace and the media contributed to all of this. So I just want to be very clear when we're apologizing, what we're apologizing for.
And who we're apologizing to. Thank you for that. Let me just say this. I apologize to Kate, and her family, I sure as hell don't apologize to the palace, because they're the ones, in my mind, who bungled this whole problem and started this whole mess. Now, it was up to Kate to decide when she came out, I understand, but to fake it and just not let her have her space seems like the wrong way to go. The cover-up always smells worse than the lie. That's what my dad always used to say.
I agree, and I do think the palace does need to modernize some things, but they never actually lied.
But the Photoshop
that was
deceiving.
apparently Kate's choice to do that, because she didn't want to release a picture because she hasn't been well. So that was Kate's decision.
Tricky.
The palace said she'd undergone major surgery. She would not be seen in public until Easter, and to please respect her privacy and leave her because she will not perform in duties. So there is no lie there. It's just that everyone else decided to turn it into something else with speculation, with rumours. And I remember sitting at the desk saying, you know, it's our job as journalists to, if someone says it's snowing outside, it's our job to look, is it snowing? Is it sunny? Is it raining? And be careful.
What if the door is really far?
It's
I
so
would just
far.
assume, I'd be like, I take your word.
Yeah.
Oh,
just
I mean,
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
No, but I think it is our job. Like, we hold great responsibility sitting at this table, as do as other people like Stephen Colbert, who's now been served as legal notice for spreading rumours.
Yeah, I think it is also important to talk about journalism in terms of what we do here, which is editorial, which means that we are giving our opinions. So, and that is protected. We can't go ahead and say things that are absolutely aren't true and say that they're fact.
Sure.
But at the same time, it's not the same as being like, okay, we're going to go on CNN and say that this is the unbiased truth. That being said, whether the palace overtly lied or not, once you get caught in so many lies, people consider you a liar and you lose your credibility.
The trust goes away.
So it's not just this particular situation. It's the history of the situation and why there's so much mistrust in it, which put her in a terrible situation.
Awkward, very awkward, yeah.
So I just want to be very clear. Like, when people are apologizing, what you're apologizing for.
It's very good point. Good point.
Coming up on DBL, our interview with Night Court actress Marsha Warfield. She's telling us all about the show's reboot. And Kevin Bacon's big surprise for the high school
He
where
looks great.
Footloose was shot.
Footloose.
We're talking all about it next.
Hey, Bacon.
I wanted to chime in a little bit. Just, I know we've been talking about, you know, Kate's situation and the public, but I also have to, you know, obviously, Tori, you apologized for what you felt was in poor taste. And I think we're in a very tough spot when it comes to people that have to advertise their business or their brand, whether you're a comic or you sell, you know, cups online.
Right.
You have to figure out where the eyeballs are going and the chatter is. Erica, you've talked to me about my abhorrent posting schedule on social media because I don't know how to get attention.
He doesn't post.
But I'm sure all these people are like, everybody's talking about the Kate Photoshop. Let's have something funny about it. I don't think anybody's like, she might have cancer. Let's do a whole marketing pitch around that. I think whatever.
Well, parody is protected for that very reason.
Right, but I'm saying just in terms of the person, it's easy to go back once you have the actual information and demonize people that made jokes and said things in jest.
Totally.
But when people are talking about a subject, comedians are going to make jokes. Entrepreneurs are going to entrepreneur.
Yeah.
They're going to
That's called pop culture.
Right. So it's like this weird thing where yes, we want to do everything in good taste, but also like I don't think that Kim Kardashian or
Blake
Lively were trying to capitalize even off her sick. They were just trying to, hey, there's a bunch of clicks going this way. Let's try and get a third of those.
Yeah, I think what I was saying is I kept saying that British people have a right to know where she is because they pay taxes. Now I've also learned, but I've also learned she doesn't necessarily get taxes or paid from the taxes. There's a certain, there's a whole other thing where there's an act where they get money
Well,
from
do you think that they have a right to
but
know?
see, that's what I apologize
Yeah,
for.
I do think they have a right to know. Yeah, and I think the problem is with the UK paparazzi that definitely it's the same everywhere. That everywhere has like clickbait or these headline titles that allude to something, and then people in general run with conspiracy
For us, it's
theories.
the New York Post. Yeah.
You know.
back to DVL. Can you believe it's been 40 years
Good Lord.
since Kevin Bacon's iconic prom dance in Footloose?
Man.
Well, now the high school where the movie was filmed wants Kevin to come to their final prom. Payson High School in Utah is relocating after this year, so the students have been blasting social media with cutouts of Kevin Bacon, asking him to come to prom. They even put on Footloose for their high school musical this year. The Today Show was live from the school and had Kevin on video from Atlanta to give his answer to the students. Here's how it went down.
I've been amazed at the work that all of you have been putting into this with the, the musical and the flash mobs and the recreations, and it hasn't gone unnoticed by me. I'm gonna come. I gotta come. Thank you guys. Let's dance.
I love Kevin Bacon and Kira Sedgwick.
Me too. They're
I
couple
love
goals.
them.
They're
They
so cool.
are. They are like, they seem like the nicest people.
They still have sexy time together. They own a farm. They're always hanging out with their goats. It's like they're like the real thing. And you know what? Kevin Bacon looks good, and he gets that nostalgia coming, and the people dressed as Bacon. I bet he's very proud that this new generation still remembers Footloose, not only that, and wants Bacon to come to Payson.
See, I think his first question, though, to his agent is, how long do I have to legally stay? That would be my worst nightmare.
Actually,
No.
I have
To be in a room full of high school students?
I have a response to this.
You're horrible,
So
Al.
a few years ago, I had to sit down with Kira Sedgwick, and she was in Denver, and she was like, I really want Mexican food. So I suggested this Mexican restaurant that was owned by a family on Tennyson. And they actually went, so a few weeks later I went and I was like, hey, did you have and I asked the owner, I was like, did Kevin Bacon come here? He's like, oh, yes, did you see the post? It's like, Kevin and Kira were here. It's like they spent all this time, they went into the kitchen.
Yeah, these are good people.
They talked with Abuela. They did all the, and then they posted, and they were so nice. So they gave them shout outs and like super generous with their time. So I'm gonna say that that's not accurate. Al.
Like I said, how long do I have to be here?
Oh my
Wait,
God.
do you think it's because you
I don't
was a
wanna
teacher
be-
and you've done your prom time
Do
and
you
you're
know how
over
long?
it?
You're just going to be sitting there. You're 50 years older than these kids.
What if he
It's
comes
super
in doing the
weird.
dance? What if he comes in doing the dance?
I bet he will. There'll be definitely
And
a lot
then
of
what?
social media
And
from
then
that.
everybody's
It's gonna take
what?
photos.
Yeah.
It's gonna take photos, Al.
You should foot loosen up.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly.
That was pretty good.
Tori.
That was pretty good.
Curmudgeon. Jenny McCarthy revealed that her husband, Donnie Wahlberg, sends her flowers every week.
Ugh.
Jenny told People
Tori.
magazine for the past 10 years of their marriage, Donnie has been sending her flowers every Monday without fail. Jenny also said Donnie still gives her butterflies and is the love of her life.
I don't know. Just
They're
feels.
very cute.
I don't know. That feels, as opposed to Kevin Bacon and Kira Sedgwick, that seems very unrelatable to me.
I'm so sorry.
I know.
Did Al
I know.
infect this
I know.
table?
I didn't like that.
What is with the
She
naysaying?
gives me butterflies. He gives me butterflies, and I get flowers every Monday. Like, be quiet.
You don't like butterflies and flowers?
I just think that that's.
I think butterflies are overrated.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
They're private school moths.
No, she doesn't actually get butterflies. She gets butterflies in her stomach.
Oh, but I mean actual butterflies. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of butterflies either.
Yeah, they're just moths with better
Color.
Yeah.
Better fashion.
Yeah, it's a moth.
No, I don't see anything wrong with continuing to invest in your
Steph,
relationship.
do you think butterflies are private school moths?
I definitely do not. I can't even take you seriously, no, but I agree with Erica. I think there's nothing wrong with, maybe that's his and her love language, and
Yeah.
it clearly works, and they're clearly happy. And what's wrong with being happy for someone else?
Yeah, Tori, answer
Okay,
that.
my
What's
love
wrong?
language is not to hear about your love language in that
That's not
sacred
a love
way.
language.
I'm just saying it seems a little staged. He gives me butterflies and I get those flowers every week.
Well, I think sometimes people say that because we hear so often that after a certain time, the spark leaves.
Ends.
Yeah.
And so when you're in a relationship, a committed relationship for a decade, and you're like, oh man, like he still really does it for me, it's almost like shocking because everyone else tells you that that's not a thing. So I don't think it's anything wrong with being just as vocal about the fact that you're still in a dating, loving, clearly demonstrative
Apparently for Tori it is.
relationship.
Well, I just find it fake and phony, but maybe not. I mean, Brooks
10 years of being phony?
Brooks said, I've been married 10
I'm
years.
sure there are
and he's-
plenty of things that Brooks does with you
It
that
gives
you-
me
that in
the-
your own way. So maybe it's not getting the flowers, but
Right.
maybe it's like taking care of your dogs when you're
Yeah,
out, or
right.
leaving you, whatever it is.
Yeah,
We love love.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever, Al. Coming up on TBL, we're talking with Night Court star Marsha Warfield. She's telling us what it was like being back with old cast members for the reboot.
Roz, you don't mean you go swimming in the nude, too?
No. Bowling.
You bowl naked?
Not completely. They make me wear those little red and green shoes.
Welcome back. Roz Russell was the hilarious bailiff in the sitcom Night Court, and nearly 30 years after the show ended, it was brought back to life in a reboot. Earlier, Marsha Warfield told us about the hit show Then and Now. Check it out.
Marsha Warfield joins us live. Marsha,
We are so excited. I'm super excited. I'm a comic by trade, so I'm a comedy nerd, so I've been following your career, and I have to ask you, this is like an insider thing for me. When you were originally cast as Roz for the original Night Court, did the writers have an idea for like Roz's personality, or did you just walk in there and just kind of create that character, and they were like, oh, this is who the show's gonna be?
Well, I had nothing to do with it. I just showed up. And I got there under such unfortunate circumstances that nobody knew what they were going to do. The cast had just lost their second bailiff, Florence Hallett, and the original female bailiff was Selma Diamond. And both passed away pretty much over hiatus. And so it was just like... you know, they didn't know if I was just going to fill in for one show or if I was going to be picked up for the run of the series. So, no, we had no idea what was going to happen.
Wow. Well, Night Court was rebooted, and you have been in a couple of episodes. What was it like stepping back onto the set and also working with John Larroquette again?
Oh, it was a bit of a family reunion. It's like going home. You know, it was like going home after being away for a while and messing up your life and needing to come back and, you know, that kind of thing. So they welcomed me with open arms. It's a family, and this is like going back to your kid's house. You know, it's it's your family, but they're doing their own thing now.
Well, we're happy to have you back. We're happy to have you here. The season 2 finale of Night Court reboot revolves around Roz. So can you tell us a little bit about that episode?
Well, Roz is getting married.
Oh.
And unfortunately, her wedding venue falls through, and she has to find another venue right away quick. And so Abby Cadabra Stone volunteers to let her have it in the courtroom.
That's what you did. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you got to do it.
Yeah,
Listen,
that's how Jeffrey did it.
that's the future.
Yes.
I suggest
I always said you were ahead of your time.
Now I can say me and Roz. Me and Roz.
Yeah, you're right. That's right.
Well, hopefully we're going to have we can take it further with Roz, the spinoff, and we'll get to meet Roz and her wife, adoption of new kids and stuff. I don't know where we're going to go with it.
Put
but
it out there.
I like it. I like it.
Yes.
I like that. That's awesome. Marsha, I wanted to ask you that many people know you for your stand-up comic, including some of our YouTube chatters saying they've seen you in Vegas and all that. What was it like doing stand-up as a woman in the 70s?
I had no other choice, and so I did the best I could and made it up as I went along. Hopefully, we can keep that tradition going. That's how I identify. I am a stand-up comedian.
I like it.
So that's why instead of writing a book, I'm developing my one-woman show as The Book of Marsha, and it's autobiographical stand-up with music and video, and we're doing it at Netflix is a joke.
Yeah.
On May 6th, and we're hopefully going to do it as a special and sometime later this year.
That's
for
amazing. It's a great area. Wow.
We look forward to watching it. So speaking of stand-up, are there certain comedians that you looked up to or were influenced by for your stand-up?
Stand-up, yeah, there are so many of them. I mean, you can't not say Moms Mabley when you talk about stand-up comedians, especially black women. She was the only one forever. And then when I came up, Shirley Hemphill was doing stand-up and got on What's Happening. And Della Reese was a big influence. A lot of my influences weren't just stand-ups. They were the funny women who were able to be funny. Yeah, I'm a big comedy nerd.
I love it.
Love it. Marsha, congratulations. Thank you for joining us on DBL. To our viewers, you can see Marsha in the season 2 finale of Night Court Tuesday on NBC. Thank you again. We'll be right back.
Thanks, Marsha.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Welcome back. If you don't sing in the shower already, you may want to start to. According to a new study, singing in the shower with your partner can actually make your relationship stronger and even reduce your chance of divorce. It says singing with your partner is a great way to feel closer and more empathetic with each other. So I gotta ask, the two curmudgeons, no, do you sing in the shower? And if so, what are your go-to songs?
My favorite song is "Can You Get Out of the Shower So I Can Have All the Hot Water." It doesn't really roll off the tongue.
No,
with that.
I haven't heard that one.
You're blocking half the water, Steph.
Oh,
you
no,
know?
if I were to sing in the shower, I would not be getting married in a few months, that is for sure. So my lips are sealed.
All right. That's why you have to have two shower heads, so you both have
Okay,
one.
that was a flex.
That is a good flex. That's a flex.
If you want to upgrade your singing space, Jacuzzi can help. Jacuzzi offers an unmatched stress-free remodeling process. Call 800-990-3709 or visit jacuzzibathremodel.com. DBL is new every day. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place.
See? Okay.
Enjoy.